Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed. Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely. You were screwed. Lovely. Lovely.
Two more levels to go. Almost 23.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I don't know.
Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely. You were screwed. Lovely. 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 Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. Lovely.
I'm not gonna pull that whole bit. The mage is probably gonna pull it though. Sucks too because it's a melee team.
Lovely.
Yeah, screw it. Let's do it.
can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Lovely.
Advantage, yeah. Oh, I had to take a
You can
potion.
kiss your ass goodbye.
Definitely had to take a good potion there, unfortunately. Oh well. Bummer. Part of it's getting used to your paladin, getting used to like how many mobs can you pull, how to manage health. Looks like this mage fucked up on this pull. Yeah, what's up, lady? Looks like the mage either died on this pull, I don't know, or just reset because they all came back to me. That's pretty funny.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
I don't know. This chest is probably garbage. Could use maybe some mana potions. Crap. Garbage. What retail? Oh no. Well, that's not gonna affect. I hope it's not gonna affect this client. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about retail WoW.
Lovely.
I saw some footage of somebody playing like the retail WoW,
Lovely.
like the War Within beta, and oh my god, was it garbage. It was so bad. It was like the exact same quest. It was like the same quest. Like, there was nothing different about it, like whatsoever. There was nothing in War Within that was in any way like that looked any different than any of the previous like 3 or 4 expansions. I'm like, there's nothing. It's like, okay, I'm doing the exact same shit I do every time I start a new like retail expansion. You either do boring ass fucking quests, probably find some
Lovely.
sort of lame ass reputation grind. You know? Just so like uninspired. That's the biggest thing I get out of retail WoW, so uninspired. Oh, I don't know. They just started off in some area killing
You can kiss your
I don't know
ass
if they were
goodbye.
Naga or it was just bad. It was just the quests were so boring. I mean, it thrust them right into like an area like on a beach where they were killing mobs on a beach, and I was just like, oh, whatever. As if I hadn't seen this 1,000 times. It's not like this. I haven't played 1,000 times either though. But I'd rather play I'd rather play like vanilla WoW than retail, man. Yeah, I don't know if it was really valid. I just know it was very uninspired, and it just looked like all the other expansions. It looked like I was back in like Legion. It looked like the beginning of Legion almost. Maybe it wasn't Legion. What was that expansion? Was it BF? It could have been BFA. It might have been like, no, it wasn't BFA. But it reminded me of another expansion. It was so like eerily similar. And it just was like,
Lovely.
You know, the other thing that irritated me today, Lasers, I was watching House of Dragons, like the last episode that came out this past Sunday. And I mean, I already knew like that they stole a shit ton from, you know,
Lovely.
Michael Moorcock, who's one of my favorite authors. And I'm like, you know, Damon's basically a complete ripoff of Elric. But the more I thought about it, like the more I thought about not only House of Dragons, the more I thought about Game of Thrones, there is so much content that author straight up ripped off from Michael Moorcock. You know, I mean, mostly the dragon aspect, like the whole Targaryen are basically the Melnibonians. Like they're so it's like, oh, we've got this super powerful elite like pantheos of kind of evilish, pale-skinned people with white hair, and they have dragons that they raise in caves, and they can fly them into combat. I'm like, this is a direct ripoff of Michael Moorcock. I mean, it's 100% ripoff. And instead of calling the Dragon Isles or Melnibone, you know, it was called like the Dreaming City. It was called, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called in Game of Thrones, but it's just such a ripoff. I was like, man, this is so pathetic. Oh yeah. Michael Moorcock is like they're way more evil. Like, oh yeah, way more decadent, way more evil, and there's just a lot more evil in general.
Lovely.
Although Game of Thrones has a lot of evil in the world, but it's a lot more human based. Whereas in the Michael Moorcock novels, there's a lot more God. There's a lot more God stuff, like real gods that you're interacting with and that give you abilities, give you powers.
Lovely.
You know, like the real gods come down
Lovely.
to the earth, so they come down to the plane you're on and step in and make a difference. You know, so it's actually really cool in that respect. And there's all different types of gods. You know, so that aspect of it is actually way cooler. But I think that's why I like the Michael Moorcock's stories so much, is because of how he weaves gods and the pantheons and all the different various planes of existence, you know, the multiverse. There's just so much more variety, you know, and it's just really cool. And the fact that you're finding almost like Lord of the Rings style Aragorn heroes in the midst of this utter brutal chaos, you know, is just like, oh wow, there's actually people that are good people. You know, they're not, haven't been subverted by how awful the world can be, you know. Yeah. No, they're probably not. But it
You
just
can
kind
kiss
of
your ass goodbye.
it just kind of irritated me how much, you know, Martin.
You were screwed.
Lovely.
A second, I don't want to die. How much he ripped off of, you know, Moorcock. But that must have been a strange name. That probably wasn't a very good name to grow up with in high school. Although high schools, when I was a kid, were not as brutal as they are today. So if you had like a really stupid name like Moorcock, I mean, you probably got teased. But man, today you would be brutally teased compared to like when I grew up, you know. You had to live with laser beam? Laser beam? Yeah, I have a Hungarian last name, and people would make fun of my name, but it was stupid. I was like, I'm like, really? That's what you're gonna make fun of? You know, like how they tried to make fun of my last name was kind of pathetic. I would just kind of laugh at them. Plus, I had an older brother who would basically beat the shit out of anybody who looked at me sideways. So. One of my older brothers was a big fighter. He liked to fight, and he was very protective of me and of my sister. And so yeah, and he was only about 3 years older than me. So when I was like, actually when I was a freshman in high school, he was actually no, he had just graduated. So I guess he was 4 years older than me. No, I think he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he wasn't in high school. He just graduated high school the year before I became a freshman. But
Lovely.
But even so, the legacy of my brother was inspired such fear that even though he wasn't still in high school, people still would never fuck with me. You know what I mean? Because they were like, Because they knew my brother would come seek him out.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I mean, I got in fights too, but nothing like my brother. I mean, my brother was, he was known for breaking his hands on people's faces.
You were screwed.
He did that twice, actually. My brother broke his hand twice just from hitting people's faces so hard.
You were screwed.
Lovely.
Guess he should have learned how to make a fist better. Maybe, I don't know. I'm okay. I'm okay. So we had some interesting. You know what, Laser? We had some interesting meetings in my work today. You know, we're rewriting our application in a completely different technology, and we had kind of told them it's going to take like. I mean, my team's really small. It's only like 5 people total. But one of the people is my boss, who's the manager, so we don't really count him as really like a developer because he's busy doing management and dealing with support type stuff. So he doesn't do a lot of programming. So you have a team of like 4 developers, and we're rewriting, you know, completely rewriting an application and using, you know, Entity Framework and, you know, Blazor and, you know, all this shit. And so it's completely different than the technology we're using. And so we told him it was going to take like, I think we told him it was going to take like 1.5 2 years to rewrite the whole thing because of, you know, just you can't, it was a pretty big application. You know, you just to rewrite every single page, to redo the database, you know, to basically migrate the data from the old database to the new database, to put up the, you know, all the new pages and put up the testing site, have everybody test everything. And then, you know, it's just going to take a while. It's going to take a while. And plus on top of that, we're still maintaining the existing. So I guess we had told him it was going to be like a couple years or 1.5 years, and we were kind of putzing along, and I could tell we were behind. I was like, man, because we were spending too much time. We were kind of like in analysis paralysis for a while, where we kept having meetings discussing the technologies and how we wanted to do things, and just a lot of very lengthy meetings where technical things were being decided, but no real developments getting done. And so I knew we were behind, and well, we finally got to the point where the user base is like, well, you know, where you guys at? Where you got? You still going to release when we were supposed to release in, you know, January of next year. And so we finally had to sit down this week and just go through everything in the old site and see, like, you know, what are we going to rewrite? Because we were doing more like the back end stuff, you know, creating like the new database, creating all the Entity Framework models, and kind of figuring out how the technology worked. We spent a year probably just going through learning the technology, figuring out how we're gonna, because there were some specific changes to the application. We were going to be doing some pretty big business logic changes as well that required a lot of thought, because our application's a financial application, so it's fairly complicated. You know, we're global too, so we had to deal with currency conversions and lots of other things. And so we sat down this week and we like figured out what are all the things that that we need to rewrite, and we wanted to do it in kind of like a phased approach. And I knew we were behind, and when we finally kind of got it all planned out, we're like, oh shit, this is going to take like, you know, 8 months. Well, but we only have like 4 months. You know, we looked at it, we're like, we're supposed to be done like by February of next year. And plus we have to plan in time for testing, right? For everybody to use to test everything and to fix bugs. And I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I knew like 6 months ago we were behind schedule, but you know, I wasn't going to say anything because people don't listen to me too much. Because I'm pretty quiet. I'm not the kind of person who rocks the boat, really.
Lovely.
So we had a pretty interesting meeting today discussing how are we going to tell these people, oh yeah, you know what, we're going to do about 4 months.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You know,
you were screwed.
I think a lot of my buffs dropped off. That was just the one to go.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, it's amazing how much weaker I am when all my buffs start to
you
drop.
You were screwed.
Come on, shield, don't fail me now. Oh, you guys can run off on me bandage. That works too. So, there's a meeting. Yeah, well, you look at my buffs, and I'm a buff hog. I will definitely, for protection paladin especially. Yeah, it's, when you're gonna do AOE and stuff, like I like to do AOE leveling, even though it's pretty slow. I still like to do it because you know me, I hate doing quests. So yeah, it's very very dependent on. You want to get as many buffs as you can when you're doing that kind of like physical, standing in front of a bunch of mobs trying to AoE them down. Every little buff helps, but yeah. So we have a meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. to basically tell all these people that we're gonna probably be about 4 months. Like the War Priest. Oh, I love it, dude. Oh, don't mean to call you dude. Sorry, Laser. I love War Priest. I always thought that's kind of a cool archetype, which I always think of Cleric. When you think of the Cleric class from Ion, I always think of that as being kind of like a War Priest, because, you're a healer, but you're really good in combat, and you've got a shield, you smash people in the face with your mace. In fact, in Ion, the Cleric was incredibly tanky. Like, it was easily the most difficult class to kill in PvP. It was easily the most difficult. That we need, yeah, we do. Weapon. I never played Pathfinder, so I've never played Pathfinder. I'm just gonna solo kill. I don't like to kill more than the 2 of the casters at once. It's kind of annoying. So let's clear him out. Or is it a her? I can never tell. These freaking nulls. Is that a female null? Maybe it is.
Lovely.
I missed my podge because I was yakking. So the meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. And here's the thing.
Lovely.
It's D&D but better. But Pathfinder, you said that there's also a real world, like, are you talking about the video game, or are you talking about the desktop role-playing game? Isn't there there's a desktop game for that too, right?
You can kiss your ass
I'm assuming
goodbye.
the video game is probably based off the tabletop game, right? Is Pathfinder the video game? That's based off probably the tabletop, right? I would assume so. I never played either the tabletop or the actual. I think. I mean, it's what's really cool what they're doing here. What Cargos and the guys are doing here, because they're trying to do like role-playing type events. Like they keep creating these big PvP events, which I think is really cool. I think it's a good way to go. But yeah, I think we need more. We need MMOs, and this is something I've talked about for a long time, but we need more MMOs that aren't so based on gear progression. And we need MMOs that have a lot less magic in them, and a lot less, because the problem with the way MMOs are is it's too much like based almost solely on gear, and there's too much magical gear, and which makes the scarcity factor not really a thing. And the thing is, if you bring in scarcity, you bring in like epicness. Like when something's really rare, really rare, and then you do get it, it feels amazing. You're like, oh my god, I hardly ever find magic. But then when I found this +2 sword, I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. You might play the game for weeks and not maybe get one magic item. I much prefer that than to just be getting like magic items left and right. That was the cool thing about. Did they try it? Which MMOs tried that? Well, I can tell you one MMO that did it that was huge, that was very successful. I mean, at least I thought.
Lovely.
I mean, Lineage 2. If you ever played Lineage 2, like the gear is not. I mean, gear drops, but it's not very often. Like you might have an 8-hour gaming session where you're killing mobs over and over for 8 hours, and you'll get like I mean, you'll get drops, but they'll be like white, you know, like a white shield or what, and they're still good items. If you get like a white shield drop, it's still a very good item. And then you might get like in an 8-hour grinding session, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Maybe I'd say 1. I'd say you could expect to get maybe 1 item in 8 hours, like maybe 1. Maybe. Yeah, I love Lineage 2. I love Lineage 2 how they did it. I loved how the gear worked in Lineage 2. I was a big fan. I love Lineage 2. I think Lineage 2. I mean, I would still be playing Lineage 2 if it wasn't for the fact that it was just completely overrun by bots. It is so overrun by bots. It's like unplayable in my opinion. Like I don't even understand how people play that game. Like I went to like an area in the game and it was like completely full of just bots. Like, and they were all the same type of bots. They were all wizards throwing the same like wind strike spell. I guess because it was the fastest cast time, and so they just would buff the heck out of their, you know, give them the best armor, and they would cast this spell, and it was so fast they just like boom, kill, 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 just over and over and over again. It was like, oh my god, yeah, it was riddled with bots. Just like, insane. I'm not taking out all these casters. Yeah. What am I missing for buffs? Let's get rid of it. Let's see if we can manage this pull without getting killed.
Lovely.
Oh, you know, getting a ding also helps. I never got a chance to play the original one.
Lovely.
You know? But it was really popular, and I always heard that it was kind of better than Lineage 2.
Lovely.
And in fact, I think more people play Lineage 1 now still
Lovely.
than play Lineage 2, I think. I think there's still like millions of people that play Lineage 1. I mean, that's how big a following, you know, it had. But you gotta realize that Lineage 2 was the first MMO I ever played, so it was very, you know what I mean, it was very cool to me, because I'm like, oh wow, man, this is the first time I played an MMO. So it was pretty exciting, you know. Alright. Oh, you know, I should have enchanted those items. Well, I'm not sure what kind of enchants my 3 stars.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
Alright, cool.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I need to get a trainer. After these buffs drop, we'll do that. What level am I? Level 23? Oh, yeah. Where that guy went to.
Lovely.
I notice I'm blocking a little bit more thanks to that talent point that we just assigned. The old ruined copper breastplate. Nice. Okay, what are we at? Let's see. Increase your chance to block by 18% after being the... Okay, so we have an 18% increased chance to block. And my current chance to block is defense. Let's get rid of range stats. Let's get rid of mana. I guess we can leave that there. Defenses, here we go. So yeah, 4.84% chance to block, and then once we'll proc Redoubt, that's going to be 4.84, was it 18? Yeah, it's going to be 22.84, so that's not too bad.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Gonna heal him. Yeah, that little bitch is gonna sit there and heal. Don't
You were screwed.
Lovely.
Ooh. Oh man. I really didn't want to have to take a healing potion there. That's right, I had my hunter who's an alchemist actually mail me some potions, make some healing potions earlier. Actually, she made a bunch of potions. I made some healing, I made some mana, I made some troll's blood potion, and a few others too, so we got quite a few potions coming in the mailbox. That'll help out. It's nice having the high-level alchemist. That's 20. So 23, we can hit the wetlands. Just I'm too squishy still. Still too squishy. Unfortunately. Yeah, I guess we can grab the door. Yeah, we need more shadow points. Yeah, we probably should get smaller. Well, the good news is at level 24 we do get these shoulders. 10 stamina is going to really help. Agility's not bad either, it's going to help our avoidance. And 161 armor. And then at level 25 we get the double link tunic. That's going to help a lot because of the armor. So much more armor, 278 armor versus 144. So those two items, we got to get to 25 pronto. Pronto. It's really going to increase our mitigation attack.
Lovely.
Yeah, you can see I'm blocking it a lot more now.
Lovely.
We still got 2 more talent points to go into Redoubt, which is going to drastically help.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah. I should probably keep killing while I have all these buffs. I really shouldn't waste buffs. Where's my artifact? that's not. Food buffs dropping. We got tons of food buffs there.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
The grind is real.
Good day to you. Safe travels. Have a good one.
Hello. See you around.
So I changed my guild tabard for my guild that I'm in because it's my guild, and I tried like a couple different designs, and I tried one, didn't like it. I was like, so I tried another one, didn't like it. Tried another one, and I was like, oh shit, I don't like this one either. So I went back to the original design I had. So I was like, well, there goes 30 gold because it costs 10 gold every time you change it. So I literally just threw 30 gold away because I was fucking around with my guild tabard. Ouch! It is not cheap to change your guild tabard crest. I think my priest had like 45 gold, so she's down at like 5 gold. I went from 45 to 5 gold because I was fucking around with my guild tab. That's classic WoW for you. I think once we get to like level 25 or even maybe 26, I'm gonna start just running stockades like over and over again because it's should be pretty easy to get groups for it, and it's pretty quick and it's good XP, so should be able to grind out some, maybe a couple levels there, and then we'll just start finishing out the Dustwood quest. That'll get us close to 30. So, good. So we gotta do Dustwood, Stockades, the Wetlands. Once we complete all that, we'll be level 30. And then we will have to see. Level 30 is always a shitty level in vanilla, to be honest. It's just not a lot of really good stuff to do at level 30.
Hey there. See you later. Have a good one.
Alright, so we should have some stuff for my hunter here, who made me some potions and stuff, which is really nice. Let's see. Also had some worms here on Black Label. Defense we can't use yet. We really needed these healing potions because that was really low. And we got some mana potions. Okay. More scrolls. Look at all these potions I made on my hunter. This Gift of Arthas, but these are much higher level potions. Gift of Arthas is kind of fun potion, and basically, when people hit you, right, it inflicts them with a disease that increases the damage they take. So it's actually really nice, especially for AoE paladins, because it's basically, it's basically allowing me to increase damage against all the people that I'm killing in my AoE little group there. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we got that. Let's get rid of the potions we don't need. Stuff we need. Lots of food, I am just clean stuff. Some more greens. Lots of greens.
You need something?
We got the cone. Yeah.
Go with honor, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help you? Be careful. You back? Alright, welcome back. The game looks kind of washed out right now, doesn't it? Which makes me realize how washed out it must really look.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, the graphics in Lineage 2 when it came out were at the time. It was
How
like
are you? See you later.
2003, I think. I played in the Thai beta. I wonder if we can even find them. Can't even find any articles on it. It was so long ago. Yeah, it was 2003. And I played in the Thai beta, the Korean beta, and the United States beta. So I played in 3 different betas. But yeah, the graphics are still, even to this day, like, it's still pretty good. Like, if you go to, I'm getting sidetracked like I always do, but if you go to Lineage 2, do gameplay, you know, it's still, graphically, it doesn't look bad, you know? This is again, like, look at the graphics here. This is 2003, right? It's very iconic. I mean, I played this game. I loved Lineage 2, so, but it was my first MMO. It was my first true MMO, so yeah, it definitely holds has a special place in my heart because of that, you know. But then I went from Lineage 2 right to World of Warcraft, you know.
King's honor, friend.
And WoW was so much,
Light bless you.
you know, it was so much better. But there are things about Lineage 2 that I like better than World of Warcraft. Definitely the griefing system, like the way people get penalized for griefing is way better in Lineage 2, man. So much better. Alright, let's go Lake Shire, I guess. Or, sorry, wetlands. I need to go to town though and train. Probably should go to Ironforge then. It's on the way.
Well met. See you around.
I'm tired, man. Yeah, my wife's doing a little bit better, Laser. Yeah, she's doing a little bit better, so that's been good. I'm still just really tired. And then, you know, having that meeting today, my boss basically saying we're you know, normally at the end of the year, my company shuts down the last 2 weeks of the year, so it's kind of like a forced vacation that they make us take every year. But it's kind of cool. Like, it's always like, you know that at the end of the year you're always going to have 2 weeks off. But my boss just told me today that because of this project we're working on, that we might end up working, you know, we'll still probably have, you know, Christmas Eve and like Christmas Day and New Year's Day off, but the other days in between that my company usually makes me take off, we're probably going to be working. Which just kind of sucks, to be honest. Maybe we can, let me look at the calendar. Maybe what we can do is, I'm thinking, let's see, December. Yeah, so normally, so we'd have these days. So maybe we'll just, yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do it. Fuck, I don't know. Let's see what Lineage 1 looked like. I mean, it was like super like Warcraft 2 looking, wasn't it? Ah, here we go. This is what Lineage... I never got a chance to play Lineage 1. I think it still exists. Man, I should go out. I should try it out. Ah, the character screen's kind of cool. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. much Diablo-esque. Click to move. Where's your spells at, though? I don't... Oh, here. Here's the spell, the action bar. Yeah, but people still play this. Let's see. A lot of people. I think it's in the millions. I think there's usually around, like around 1 million people that still play with it. Private servers are key. Yeah, Lineage 2. Yeah, there are private servers for Lineage 2, so you can get away from all the bots, which is pretty cool. Lineage 1 server opens tomorrow, 2014. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out later. It was shut down right before Lineage 2 launched? No, but no, it was not. Lineage 2 was not shut down. Dude, Lineage 2's been running ever since. I thought they were still running. Are you sure? I thought they were still running, man. Look, Lineage. Right here, Lineage. Man, one thing NCSoft is always good at is their freaking graphics. Like, look at how nice this looks. Even the logo, Lineage is such a cool logo. Which one? Well, how do you play it? Okay, so it's Korea. That was 2018. Alright, so, hey, what's up, Christian? Oh, is my voice low? Oh, shit. Thank you for letting me know. You guys gotta let me know if my voice is low, man. It's not because if I forget to start my Razer software, it just the mic's always going to be low. So here, we'll fix that. All right, should be better now. Anyways, for Paladin, it really is. That's a really good question. But I mean, if you play, yeah, music. I always play the music. I'm always kind of playing loud music. I can't help it. Let's do. I like my music. Let's do a more quiet, serene playlist here. All right, so I mean, do you want to slow? So, like, I have my own thoughts on like what weapon speed I like to use. Now, as a protection paladin, I like to AoE level quite a bit, which is not going to be the fastest way to level. I'm gonna straight up tell you that's, you know, just doing quests, doing dungeons. When you have quests to complete in dungeons is always going to be the fastest way to level. But what I like to do is I like to AoE level quite a bit just to kind of see where my character's at, see how many mobs they can handle. I'm always trying to figure out better ways to play classes as well, so I'm always kind of looking at the damage numbers, looking at how I can mitigate damage better. But in my experience, with the protection, you got to remember that, you know, a lot of your damage is magic damage, is holy damage. You know, your judgments, you know, are going to be, it's going to be holy damage, right? But a slower weapon, your slower weapon, your judgments are going to you're going to do more damage, right? Unless you use the energy of the seal. But if you're attacking too slowly, you're just not proccing the judgment effects, right? So if I judge a target with Seal of Crusader, right here, unleashing the seal's energy will judge an enemy for 10 seconds, increasing holy damage taken by up to 20. So if I judge a target with Seal of the Crusader, especially for a single target threat, then you don't want a weapon that's super slow because you're just not hitting you're not really taking advantage of your judgment of the seal. And then later on when you get Seal of Light at level 30, which is going to be really important for AoE leveling because you're going to be using that almost primarily, so that you can regen health as you're taking down like 10-12 mobs at once. Then you're going to still want a pretty quick weapon, because really the quick weapon is going to give you the benefits of the judgment, But if you're just looking for like threat, then how much damage you do is going to increase your threat. But as a protection paladin, a lot of your threat's based more around spell power, like you're getting your concentration down, having that do a lot of damage initially to get threat. But so basically what I'm trying to say is you don't want a slow weapon, but you don't want one that's too fast either. So this is what I'm trying to say, because when you judge a target, you want your judge is going to kind of be your taunt because you don't have a taunt. So like if you're tanking and mobs get loose and chase the healer or something, you're basically going to be using your judgment in a lot of cases as kind of like a pseudo taunt. So the other thing you can do too is you can actually keep different weapons in your inventory. So let's say I want to do a judgment. I could keep a really, really slow main hand weapon in my inventory and swap to that for judgments, for like a big judge to do more damage on the judge, to try to generate more threat, to pull a mob back. That's another thing you can do, but I'm not, but I personally like my weapon speed. What I like is I like around 2.3 is probably my favorite weapon speed. You know what I mean? Well, I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure that the judgment is going to be scaled a little bit by the weapon speed, I believe, by the weapon damage, but let me check if I might be wrong on that. Let's see, Vanilla WoW judgment. Does it scale with? Let me take a look, because I want to make sure I'm right on that. It may not. Well, we'll test it out. We'll just have to get some different weapons and test it out. If you look at the tooltip, it's going to say that unleashes this seal's energy will cause 58 to 64 holy damage. But the thing is, if the holy damage, scales with the crit, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it may scale. I can't remember, honestly. So I can't remember. I thought it did more damage with a slower weapon, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But just in my experience, because of, you are disregard the judgment effect, just the white damage. Like if you crit with any weapon, like if you're a rogue, if you're a warrior, when you crit, your crits are going to be higher if your based on the top end damage of your weapon. So if you have a weapon here, top end damage is 39 damage here, right? It's 21 to 39 damage is what this weapon does. So, if that's why rogues always go for Kroll Blade, because it's so slow. So the top end damage, if you crit, it's going to be a much bigger crit. So even if like the judgment doesn't really scale at all with the weapon speed, which I can't remember if it does, which I'm kind of embarrassed that I can't remember that. I'll have to look that up. But even so, having a weapon that's a little bit slower is going to make your just crits in general do more damage, right? So, which again is going to generate more threat. So personally, like for me, like I said, I like to be around 2.3 weapon speed, because I just feel like if I'm down around like let's say 1.8 or 1.9, I feel like, yeah, I'm attacking more often, but sometimes I don't feel like the judgments, I want the judgment to try to be a taunt. Because if you think about like holding threat, or like the best tanking threat weapon in the game for a warrior is a dagger, right? And the reason a dagger is the best weapon for a warrior is because of the continual, because the warrior is hitting really, really quickly with the dagger, So it's that continual hitting actually does tend to seem to generate good threat. I don't know if that works quite as well with Paladins because you don't have the same amount of, you know, your crit's not going to be as high as a warrior. Let's put it that way. But yeah, but I mean, I do think that, you know, 2.3 for me, in my experience just playing around, I feel like 2.3 is pretty good. 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. I don't like to go slower than 2.4 because I just feel like my attacks aren't coming in quick enough to benefit from the judged seals. You know, like my judged seal lighter, right? Judged seal of a crusader. I want to be hitting the mob pretty frequently so that I'm getting the benefits. Also, your best weapon is going to be the flurry axe. Flurry axe is your best in slot until you get something better from raiding, because you know it's going to proc. Also, you know, what's the other one from, you know, Maradon or whatever? The flurry axe. What is the other one called? God, man, my brain is not working right now. This is what happens when you get old. But you know the other sword you get that has a chance to proc an additional weapon attack. But yeah, flurry, you know, the flurry is going to be great because you know, if you're procking additional weapon attacks, again, those attacks can then proc the judgment effect on the target as well. So if you can get like hand of, you know, the hand of justice from the Emperor in BRD, which gives you a chance. Yeah, the thrash blade. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get. Like thrash blade is going to be pretty decent. Flurry axe is best in slot. If you can get hand of justice, that's going to really help. You know, and you know, I like to build into for my prot build. This is what I use, but this is kind of like a prot. This is kind of like a prot like AOE build, which isn't necessarily maybe the best build for like a straight up PvE protection paladin, but this is how I like to build my protection paladin. So I do go 5 out of 5 into Reckoning. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do that. Like if you look up protection paladins, a lot of people won't even go into Reckoning at all. I do like Reckoning, but a lot of that's because of it's more for my AoE leveling side of it. But at max level at 60, I may have to, you know, you may go with a slightly different build, but most of these things you're still going to have. But because you have Reckoning, which gives you a chance to, you know, here it gives you a 12% chance to gain extra attack after the victim of being a critical strike. You know, it just works well with like flurry axe and different things, but I've never found that to be, I don't know. I mean, honestly, and I've played Protection Paladin for like thousands of hours, and I haven't run the numbers on, is all I can say. All I can say is just from playing it, I have a feeling for my damage. You know, like I kind of have a feel for what I'm doing because I've done it so much. And I've never really experienced where I felt like that was the case, or like a faster. But it's definitely something that we can play test, right? We can definitely play test it. You know, just run recount and check the damage numbers. But I don't think that's gonna really. I don't think that'll hold up. The other thing that I'm really interested in is the crits, right? So if you look at like Judgment of the Righteous, for example, like the average is 59, the max is 70, but the crit's up to 100. What I'm really curious about is, will the crit of the Judgment scale with the weapon? And that's what I'm really curious about. Does Paladin Judgment's crits scale? And I think it does. I thought it did. So it says right here, slower weapons do scale better with seals, but Hammer of Righteous and Reckoning cause instant swings. That's fine. Slower weapons hit harder and scale better with attack power. Combined ability to hit instantly, but does it really scale with damage? Now I know that the Righteous tick damage definitely scales, right? So you know how like when you hit a target, like basically when you have Seal of Righteousness up, right? It says melee attacks cause an additional 5 to 18 holy damage. That definitely does scale with slower weapons, right? And I know that because of the aspect of seal twisting, which is why people did seal twisting to begin with. And seal twisting is you basically swing with a fast weapon, and then like right before your weapon lands, you actually swap to a two-hand weapon, right? And then the additional holy damage, tick damage, is calculated based off of the slow weapon, even though you swung with your fast weapon. And so yeah, the actual damage does scale. At least it did in the private servers. But we'll test it out here. I just don't have a two-hand weapon. Let's go grab a two-hand weapon. Let's go buy one. Let me get rid of some of this shit in my inventory. We'll do some play testing, but I think you'll see that a faster weapon probably won't. I'm gonna put my money that it will not make you do more damage. But let's go play around with it and find out. It's a good question. Let's find ourselves. I've got a 35 epic axe in the bank, but I'm not 35 yet. All right, let's see weapons. Let's look for a two-hand mace. Since two-hand maces are nice, we've got the hit. Oh, here we go. And we've got a blue one we can buy, right? Triangle mace, 7 gold. 66. Man, only 66 damage. 23. Man, I thought it would have hit harder than that. What's the now? But see, the speed is just crappy. We want a slow one. Let's go two-hand swords. We want something that's really slow, so we can really test slow versus fast. And also so we can see the difference on, see, 2.9, that's not really good either. Alright, two-hand axes. Kill maim, 3.2. That's not bad. 3.2. Yeah. We could do kill maim. What is it, 7 gold? It's 3.2 attack weapon, so it's 84 top end DPS versus my sword, which is 39 on the top number. That's the slowest decent weapon I see. Which kind of sucks. Mace, you can usually find a... I'm surprised that triangle mace is so fast. Ooh, the Cobalt Crusher. This would be this is a nice one. Viscous Hammer, 2.9. 2.2. All right, let's do the axe. It's only level 21, unless one of these are slower. 19, 21.7. 2.9. I don't really know if I want to spend that much gold just for something that does slightly more damage. Was it 21.7 damage per second versus like 19? Yeah, that's over. I don't want to pay that much gold for that. We'll just grab the sword. 66. That's not very good either. Actually, the Guardian Blade's 76 damage on the top end. That's not too bad. Yeah, for Seal of Command. Yeah, Seal of Command is definitely better. Well, I know for a fact Seal of Command is way better with a slow weapon. But what I want to see is, like, are we really going to see much of an increase? I mean, are we really going to see that much of an increase? You know, going... Another thing that what I want to see is going from like a 1.7 versus like a 2.4, you know, one-hand weapon. I do know that I'm 100% certain that a slower two-hand weapon does more holy damage, the additional righteous tick damage. I'm like 100% certain that it will do more. How slow is this one? 2.8. $65. $3.2. Isn't even was hoping we'd have better options for swords. 19. $66. With a black. Oh, this is a cool looking sword. This one actually looks really cool. The black metal great sword. This one's nice. One's 3.3. But we have to be level 24, and we're not 24 yet. So yeah, we'll just grab this one. Just grab this one just for testing purposes. Let's also look at like some one-hand swords. Let's see. 2. Yeah, the weapon I have right now is 1.8. So that's pretty. This one should be 2.2, right? Yeah, 2.2. I have not watched Paladin. I think I'm familiar with the name. Yeah, we're not really going to be able to get a very good, I think, good test. The thing to test like a 1.7 weapon versus like a 2.4 or something is they would pretty much have to be doing about the same DPS per second. And that's where it's going to be difficult, you know, difficult to test, because if they're not, you know, I mean, we can look at the holy damage, but I don't think it's going to be very easy to get a very fair comparison, you know. Like this one's 17.1. I mean, Sword of Corruption would be decent. 2.1, you know. But we'll just have to wait and see. But we grab the 2-hand weapon. I need to set up my 2-hand weapon macro anyway. But in my experience, I actually tend to, like I said, I tend to like 2.3, around 2.3 weapons. But again, you know, Flurry Axe is going to be my go-to best until I get like better raid gear. Which one am I using here? Alright, cool. 2-hand. Alright, here's our 2-hand. And what's going on with my Shift R not working correctly? Probably because I'm not using either of the same weapons. Gotta keep this stuff up to date. Where's my shield? Shield. Alright. Cool. Alright, we gotta hit the Paladin trainer real quick. Knightly longsword? You mean the 2.2 sword? Well, I think faster is good if you're trying to proc. Like, faster is definitely good if you're trying to proc seal effects. I still feel like if you're just like, I feel like if I'm AoE leveling and I just have a plain old like green sword or something. Yeah, faster is better if it depends on what you're trying to do, but faster is probably going to be better because you're proccing the effects. So let's say you're killing like 10 mobs at once. Then a faster weapon is better because you're going to be judging Seal of Light and you're going to be proccing more heals, right? But I don't know, like if you were trying to if you weren't like doing like AoE leveling and I just was like trying to kill one mob at a time, I don't know if a faster weapon would be better as far as kill time. You know, as far as kill time, I would think like a 2.3 would kill faster than like a 1.7 for example. But I could be wrong.
What can I do for you?
But I could be wrong.
See you soon.
Ba, 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 boom. Yeah, the nightly. Isn't that? I thought that was a 2. That's not 2.2 attack speed. That knightly longsword must be 1.9 then. Must be 1.9. Yeah, but yeah, definitely at like You know, at like if I go to here, my banker. Yeah, no, faster is better for AoE. I'm not arguing that point. I just told you that I feel like faster is better for AoE. But what I'm saying is for single target, I'm not 100% sure that faster is better for single target, right? For AoE, yes, I agree faster is better. But not for damage necessarily, but it could be better for damage, but I'd have to run the numbers. But like this right here, Flurry Axe, this is what we'll be using at 42, right? And of course, that's going to be your best in slot. But yeah, I mean, faster is probably better. But I still feel like for threat, for like tanking, like if I'm tanking, it probably is better. I hate being wrong. But yeah. But like I said, I tend to like run around with 2.2, 2.3, and I don't think it's a big difference as far as like single target. But you know, for AoE, again, for survivability, and it's more for survivability because when I'm AoEing, I'm using Seal of Light quite a bit. You know, I'm more concerned about you know, generating health coming back than I am concerned about, you know, damage. Like my weapon currently, those I guess is pretty decent. Now, for example, what was really funny is this is a 1.8 attack speed weapon. I actually had a level 13 or level 14 sword that was like 2.3 or 2.4 that had Fiery enchant on it that was actually out DPSing this. Just to show you how powerful Fiery is. It's incredibly powerful. But on private servers, what you would do a lot of times is you would actually seal twist because you could kill mobs faster. But the problem is seal twisting doesn't work in the classic client, unfortunately. And well, I think you can still get it to work, but it's not great. Yeah, it's really good at low levels. Let me see if we can here. Maybe we can test it out though. It's weird that it's pulling this up when I'm typing in. Yeah. Okay, well, weapon swing timer is not working. Yeah, it's causing some issues. We can, even without that, we could probably test it. We could probably try it out. Even without weapon swing timer. Yeah, I already have a Flurry X. I bought one about 2 weeks ago. Got a good deal on it, too. I think I got mine for like 320 gold. I was, because I have a Horde account and an Alliance account, and what I was doing to make money was buying stuff that's cheaper on the Horde auction house, and then transferring it through the neutral auction house, and then selling it, transferring it through the neutral auction house, and then selling it on the Alliance. But then I ran into an issue, and the issue I ran into was a couple of real assholes. They were running some sort of a bot, and the bot they're running is automatically tagging things that are like listed at a really low price and automatically buying them. So I'd like buy like, for example, I was buying like a Lightforged belt for like 3 gold on the Horde side, and then I'd send it over to my hunter. You know, I'd basically take my Horde character to Gadgeton, and I would put on the auction house for like 1 copper, and then I would alt tab onto my Alliance account, and I would just buy it for 1 copper. But this one asshole's running a bot that basically is auto buying. It's like automatically buying stuff. So as soon as I listed something, his bot would detect that, oh, this item should be a much higher cost, and it would just automatically buy it. So the only way I could actually transfer stuff was I actually had to know all of his characters. But the thing is, this guy kept creating characters with different names because he knew that I was catching him. and like basically making sure not to do that when he was online. So he started creating characters with a different name, and I couldn't. I started losing too many items. I'd buy stuff for like 3-4 gold, put it on the auction house, and before I could buy it, it was gone. And I mean, it literally only took me like 2 seconds to buy it because I just alt tab. I'd already have my other character in the right spot on the auction house. I just had to basically click search, click it, and buy. And it just like I started losing stuff, and I was like, so I just kind of gave up on that. But I made a lot of money doing that. My priest actually still has like three or four devout belts on her that I bought on the Horde auction house. Surprisingly, they haven't been able to sell them though. The people on the Alliance side of the server aren't as progressed as far as the people on the Horde side. Oh shit! I need to grab the quests. Just not paying attention. This is what happens when I talk to people in the stream chat. I totally like fuck up in the game. How many quests? Well, we got enough room to pick some up.
Great to meet you. Off with you.
Yeah, I've got tons of good gear for this character. I don't have the Skull Flame shield yet. I've been trying to get it, but I can't find it. I haven't even seen it on the auction house. I mean, when it is on the auction house, I won't be able to afford it. Probably. All right, so we've got a two-hand weapon. I'm sure my weapon skill with two-hand weapons probably blows. Let's see, two-hand swords. Two-hand swords right now, yeah, 6 out of 120. So it's going to take a while to get to the point where we can actually even do any kind of realistic testing. But we should still be able to see the difference with the righteous tick damage, because that doesn't really have anything to do with your weapon skill. I don't believe so.
Well met. Be careful.
Yeah, but the thing with paladins though is like everybody's going to tell you there's like a right way or wrong way to do things, and just any class really, but I do feel that there's a little bit of gray area in there. I do feel there's a slight gray area in some of these things. And the most important thing on a protection paladin, to be good at playing a protection paladin, is to really have a good understanding of how much damage you can take, how much damage you can mitigate, and like when are you actually really in trouble. Like when you're in combat against multiple mobs, when are you actually in trouble? Like when do you need to switch out to maybe devotion, devotion aura versus retribution aura, versus when should you switch to seal of light versus seal of righteousness. I mean, there's all these little things you can do to mitigate damage, to regen health. When should you switch to seal of wisdom versus seal of might, and all those things are things that can happen during any encounter, and that's what makes a really good protection paladin, is the one who knows when to switch, which seal to use when. What spec am I doing? Yeah. I always go straight into holy, straight to constant, and I always grab 5 out of 5 divines, like, paladins struggle with mana like mightily, so.
Can I help you? Have a good one.
We're not going to do this one yet.
Be careful.
So yeah, you don't really, you're good. I mean, for me, you definitely want to go divine intellect. That's your best bang for your buck. And then of course, seal of righteousness. You're going to be using seal of righteousness pretty much a lot. And then you grab consecration, and then protection rain. Of course, you're going to go right into redoubt. You want to rush precision as fast as you can. So redoubt, precision, and then get a few points into toughness, so then you can go straight into shield specialization. And then if you're going to be doing a lot of dungeons, obviously you're going to want to grab some improved righteous fury. But if you're not going to be doing any dungeons, then you can kind of skip that. I always get Blessing of Kings. I like Blessing of Kings. It's also good. Blessing of Kings, one of the things, it's good, but it's also good for dungeons too. I mean, if you are going to be doing dungeons, definitely get it, because it's a buff that people are just going to want. Plus, it makes it easy for you too as well. It makes it easy for you as far as just buffing people in the group. People are pretty much going to be happy if you just throw kings on everybody, as opposed to saying like, oh, well, I want wisdom. I mean, you can give them kings, and if they say, well, I want wisdom, like if it's a healer, of course, you're going to give a healer wisdom. If it's a rogue, you're probably going to give a rogue might, right? But something like a druid, I always give usually kings. Tank, I'm going to give kings. Try to push his health up. This is going to be fun because we have shit skill with a 2-hand weapon. So of course we're going to go with Crusader. Alright, you can see right now Retribution Door is doing 5 damage. We'll see how much the Righteous Stick is going to do.
Lovely.
We're not even hitting right now because our skill's so shitty. No. Spiritual Focus is garbage. Spiritual Focus is not...
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Here, 1 second. A lot of people do this. There's a lot of people that'll go with Spiritual Focus. I think it's straight up garbage. And I'll tell you why here in a second. So Spiritual Focus gives your Flashlight and Holy Light spells a chance to not lose casting time when you take damage. So all that is just pushback. It's just preventing you from getting that pushback effect that slows down your cast. You should never really rely on that. Like, it's not necessary. Like, if you know your class, if you know the Paladin and you know what you're doing, you won't need it. That's my argument for that. Like, if you know what you're doing and you know your class, you're not really going to need that. Now, again, because if you're in a situation where you're relying on the fact that you don't want pushback to slow down your healing, that means either you're dying because your healer that's in your group is not healing you and keeping you up, or you're dying because you bit off more than you can chew and you don't know how to manage. You don't know how to manage the amount of mobs you're fighting. So really, it's either your fault or the healer's fault, right? So just throwing talent points into something to fix a problem with your gameplay, in my mind, is wrong, right? Like, I think it's garbage. So I never go with it because I never need it. It's like there's never a situation where I'm like, oh God, I wish I wasn't taking pushback because this is getting me killed. You know what I mean? Because that just doesn't happen. You know? And like I said, unless you have a healer that just isn't healing you. You know what I mean? If you're relying on yourself to heal yourself when you're in a group with a healer, then something's wrong.
Lovely.
Like, my 2-hand sword skill is so garbage. This is like, I can't even hit anybody with this thing. No. Yeah, for PvP, but I mean, come on. It's PvP, dude. You're a protection paladin. You're a protection paladin, right? Like, my point is, like, you're not going to be very good at PvP, okay? You're a protection paladin. Like, if you're going up against, like, a rogue or warrior, you have a shot at killing him, right? But if you're going up against a mage or a warlock or, like, a feral druid, like, or even a rogue, rogue has a chance, but if you're going against any kind of caster, shadow priest, warlock, mage, you're fucked. Like, you're 100% fucked. Unless you've got some sort of resistance here, or unless you're running, like, obviously, more of a rec, if you're running, rep paladin, but it's not. I'm talking about protection paladin here, right?
Lovely.
You have no chance. A protection paladin should never beat, like, a mage or a warlock or a shadow priest. You're gonna die every time. It's like, all they have to do is get one fear off and you're dead. Like, against a warlock or a shadow priest, all they have to do is fear you once, right? And if you're in a full fear, you're pretty much dead. So it's just garbage, man. Like, yeah, if you were going up against, like, let's say, like, a warrior or something, but again, if you're worried about, like, killing and it could be useful, like, but I mean, how often on a protection paladin on this server, Like, am I going to run into that situation where I'm like, God, I wish I didn't, I wish I wasn't getting this pushback. This is going to be the difference between me dying and living, Nah, it's just not even worth it, man. All right.
Lovely.
Oh, this sword skill. Hey, what's up, Alphonse? How you doing, man? Popped up and recommended. Wow. We're trying to level up my two-handed weapon skill here because it's garbage. I was... Well, it's not like, wow, we do have Seal Crusader,
You
though.
can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would like to... So you say Holy Prot. What kind of spec are you running, though? What spec are you running? Like, if you're running my spec, you are not going to have any success against a Warlock, a Shadow Priest, or a Boomkin, or, or a Mage. You're not going to have any, This isn't like a private server where you can wreck bomb people, you know what I mean? So yeah, you could have no luck, so... Well, we're starting. We almost are hitting him. Oh, 2 points glancing damage. Oh, look, we did 11 damage. No, look. Oh, wait. Look. Did he interrupt my flash shield? No. Yeah, I just cast 2 flash shields and he didn't do any pushback. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the big part, though. Geared spec properly, right? That's the big thing. Gear means everything. But gear means everything in every class. But if you're playing Protection Paladin, it's you gotta have certain gear. Like if I have Flurry Axe and I've got Hand of Reckoning, yeah, you're gonna do some decent damage, But yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, like I said, I don't do a lot of PvP on a Protection Paladin because it just doesn't work very well. But I'd be yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've played Protection Paladin in vanilla for a long time, like a long time, right? You go to my YouTube channel, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great Protection Paladin, but I can tell you I'm very versed in how to make a Protection Paladin survive in encounters, in dungeons. And I've done quite a bit of PvP, but not a ton. But I mean, I've done some. I've gone head-to-head with rogues at my level and private servers a lot, and I've won those encounters. I've killed warriors one-on-one, so you definitely can, But again, my build isn't really a PvP build. There's definitely holy prot builds that are more geared towards PvP. My build is not one of those. But if you go to my YouTube channel, do a search for Protection, right? Protection Paladin, right? You might find a few videos, right? Protection Paladin, right? Protection Paladin. Let's just keep scrolling here. Look, here's from 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, 4 years ago. 5 years ago. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, probably. I can keep scrolling, Protection Paladin, AoE leveling, Protection Paladin, Classic Hardcore Protection Paladin, Wrath of the Lich King Protection Paladin, And then look, I can just keep scrolling. Protection Paladin, AoE leveling, Protection Paladin on Everlook. War main protection paladin. I keep scrolling. So yeah, I've done a lot of protection paladin. But yeah, I'm not an expert on PvP with a protection paladin because I just don't think it's a good class for that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I agree with that. But there's things you can do, though, too. I mean, you can build yourself a spell resist set, right? Like, you can go into item rack. You can create yourself a set here. Especially since I'm blacksmithing. I mean, you could do some thorium armor. There's a lot of things you can do. If you went engineering, you got like some frost reflector or shadow reflector. Engineering is going to be your best bet for PvPing. You know what I mean? Engineering is going to be your best bet. You can get some iron grenades and stuff like that are certainly going to help you out. All I'm trying to say is if you're going up against like a shadow priest or a mage or a warlock, it's not gonna be easy for you to win those encounters if the person you're playing has any idea what they're doing. If they know what they're doing, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to win those encounters. I don't care how good your gear is. Then one of the reasons that is because armor doesn't do you a lot of good against spell damage. Spell damage is going to go right through your armor. So
Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
yeah, I would venture to say there's not too many people that you're going to run into that have played Protection Paladin more than I have. There's not too many. I've done a lot. I mean, there's people like you're talking about. There's Paladin. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of There's actually not a couple. There's quite a few. OG like Paladin players that are around. I think they showed up on the classic scene too when they did those classic like tournaments and stuff, PvP tournaments. But those are more like Retribution Paladins, I'll check out Paladin. I'm familiar with. I think I've watched some of his videos. He's the one that's kind of like a little spazzy, if I remember correctly. Is it one word, Paladin? This guy, right? Yeah. Yeah, this guy. Yes, yeah, SOD was garbage. SOD was way overpowered. Paladins were overpowered in SOD. I didn't bother playing it because it was just like, I don't like SOD, it's garbage. Paladin PE leveling guide, gearing classic WoW hardcore 9 months ago.
Is 5:46 a.m. here.
Yeah. I'll check out some of his videos just to see if there's something I can learn, We'll see. Are we actually... Okay, so... Here, let's get rid of Righteous Aura. So you can see right now the Righteous tick damage is 29, right? It's 29.
Lovely.
Right? Now if we put the sword on, it's going to be, it's 17. So right there, the slower two-hand weapon scales with your Righteous tick damage. That's why people would do the seal twisting. That's why people would do like I would go up to this mob and, I'd swing and then I'd weapon swap right there at the end. Here, let's try it. I don't think we can do it I don't think it works in Classic. Yeah, it's without a swing timer too. It'd be tough to do it without a swing timer. There are a lot of different things on private servers though, like you could like sit on the private servers would use sit, it would automatically proc crit strikes. So you'd create a sit macro and you just would sit Like, you wouldn't do it all the time, but if like you ever wanted to proc Redoubt, you would just sit. So you would go into like a big pool, and the first thing you would do is pull your mobs, and then you would sit. But you don't really need to do that. Like when you're AoE pulling like, you know, 6, 7, 8 mobs, you're gonna get critically hit, right? You're gonna get critically hit. The other thing that's kind of sucks though is when you get higher level and you get better gear and stuff, you get more, better evasion, you start dodging more, parrying more. You're not going to get critically hit as much because of just the fact that you're getting, you know, they're missing you a lot more because of your parry, because of your dodge. But again, if you're pulling like 10 mobs at once, you're going to get critically hit. It's just, it'll happen. So it's not a big deal. But against like single targets, you know, it does become a little bit more of a problem. All right, I'm just kind of, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing here. I know we needed to gobbler. We just need 2 more bluegill, and then we'll go ahead and try to grab the Acroculus skins. We're level 23. We do have the nice Sparkle Shell Mantle Shoulders at 24, which has quite a bit of stamina, so that's going to hurt up a stamina pool. But yeah, I think what you said, Absent, is definitely true. You know, you said he's talking about for leveling, you want to prioritize armor, stamina, int. I would definitely, yeah, I definitely wouldn't worry about strength at all when you're leveling. Strength is like, you don't, if you're going prot, the most important stats for prot are going to be probably stamina and intellect. Yeah, stamina and intellect. I totally agree with that. And really mitigation in general, right? Because the protection paladin is all about, I always call it like the reflection paladin, because when you get later on down the road, you get sanctuary up, and you get your Redoubt, you're going to be blocking and reflecting a lot of damage. Like if you use your shield spike, every time you block, you'll be doing damage with your shield spike. If you have Blessing of Sanctuary up, that's going to be doing damage. You've got your Retribution aura up, so every time they hit you, you're doing damage. And then you're going to, you know, there's other things you can do. There's a lot of other things you can do to increase your damage. Dragon Breath Chili, you can go with, if you can get a Druid to give you Thorns, man, that's going to be super OP, especially if you like leveled with a partner. If you could level with a partner who's a druid, that would really increase your leveling speed. Having Thorns up like 24/7, it's just amazing. One of the things that I was using was Gift of, like I said, Gift of Arthas, which is kind of something you don't see people use a lot, but Gift of Arthas is really good for Paladin AoE. Yeah. Protection's going to be way slower than, for sure is going to be way slower than Retribution. I like Protection because I love Protection Paladin. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. But yeah, Ret's going to be definitely much faster, especially with Seal of Command. You know, get yourself Ret, get yourself Seal of Command. You're gonna take mobs down way faster. Your kill time is going to be much quicker. We need to fix this weak aura though. Aura player bomb. Blessing of Wisdom, or Seal of Wisdom, what am I? No, that's not what I want. I'm an idiot. Seal of Crusader. Why did it just make it disappear? Because it's not a... Yeah. Or player buff. Am I spelling it? I don't know I'm spelling it right. Crusader. Okay, it doesn't like that. 2305. Yeah, well, I was still, yeah, it definitely makes a big difference absent. Yeah, I'm just playing around with a weak core here. I want to get fixed because we have some issues with it currently. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to recreate this one. So we've got Seal of Wisdom. Actually, it's not Seal of Wisdom. It's Seal of Crusader. Yeah, rename. Seal of Crusader. And Seal of, we're going to rename this one. Save that. Trigger. All right. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're creating seals that this is kind of it's something weird that I started doing, and what I'm doing is I've got these little icons down here show that I don't have a blessing up, right? I can see blessing of eye, blessing of wisdom. These are just saying, hey, you don't have a blessing up. If I cast either blessing, they should both disappear. Like I cast blessing of might. If I get rid of blessing of might, you can see they come back, and if I cast blessing of wisdom, they both disappear. So it's just letting me know that I don't have a blessing up. Now, I don't have to use both icons. I could just use one icon. But I actually like seeing two. I don't know, just because I just think it looks cool. So we're just going to roll with it that way. So, and this one we're going to change the size a little bit. Okay. Yeah. We didn't want to do that. What the fuck did I just do? I hate it when it does that. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I'm using quartz. I can't remember if I am or not. Yeah, we are. Okay. It's fine. Thanks, Absent, for the sub. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I'm not like the end-all expert on paladins, but I do know the protection paladin very, very well. But yeah, it makes sense that a faster weapon is better. But again, I think the one thing that I would disagree a little bit on is I'm not sure if a faster weapon is going to be the best for a protection paladin for time to kill against a single target. That was the only area where I was kind of questioning what Pally Time said. That was the only one. And again, I'd have to test it out, but everything else he's saying is good. It's true. It's, you know, very good. What do we got? We got, let's go display. We're looking at 38. You know. And let's go to here. We're going to go 38 as well. 38 or 39. That's fine here. 38. It's fine. I think those are about the same. All right. Yeah, pretty close, right? $38.38 nations. Okay, so what you have here is you have these funny little bouncy things, and these are just telling me that I don't have a seal. We know I have a blessing up because we don't see the blessings, but if I right-click off the blessing, now we can see we got missing blessings, but this is overlapping, so we're going to have to fix that, which is fine. We're just going to take this guy, and we're going to fuck it all up like I just did again. Ah, so finicky. Alright, there we go. Just going to move this over. And blessing right. I do this shit more for fun, just because it's fun. I enjoy having all the fun little bouncy stuff. We could probably move these blessings. I think probably be better served to just be sitting above my nameplate, but it looks kind of funny, doesn't it? All right, let's move this a little bit further. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Cool. But anyways, it lets you know that we don't have a blessing, we don't have a seal. So boom, seal, boom, blessing. Gone. Alright, let's get our Crocodile skins. And throw back up Retribution Aura. What are we at? 94 weapon skill. So we're still a long ways away. 120. Once we get over to 110, we should be pretty decent. Hey, we took it out. So we can actually kill something finally. So another way you can obviously check damage is let's reset this. But until we get that weapon skill high enough, it's not really worth looking at. Because it won't be a fair comparison. Another thing I like to do is if I'm just leveling up a weapon skill, I'll just throw on Devotion Aura. Because I don't really want to kill the mob quick with my Retribution Aura. You know? I just want to make sure that I'm getting as many weapon swings in as I can. So. We are one with the fishies. We are one with the fishies.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, when you get to end game and you start talking about spell power, yeah, and actually, what I actually wanted to do was have multiple weapons. So, like if you can, you want to have a different weapon for pulling. You're gonna want like a weapon with a high amount of spell power on it, like like a spell power sword, and then you're gonna pull the mobs, drop your first consecrate with that weapon. And that way you're going to get a lot more damage out of that first consecrate. And then you're going to weapon swap into, you know, whatever your primary weapon is. And for enchantments, like your best enchant usually is going to be spell power. But I will also argue that life stealing is the one that I like. I like life stealing for AoE leveling because it just keeps me up longer. But also, life stealing is actually a pretty decent threat because life stealing does it. The way it steals life is it does shadow damage. So you do shadow damage to a target, and the damage you're doing to the target gets returned to you as health. So it actually does generate a pretty good threat because you're doing damage. You know, that enchant's actually doing additional damage to your target. So life stealing is actually not a bad enchantment. It's better than people think it is. But yes, spell power is going to be your go-to if you're doing like raid tanking on a protection paladin, and you're looking for like, you know, maximum threat. But you can also, again, like I would say, if you got the money and you got the weapons, if you can get like multiple, like it would be nice to have a Flurry X with life stealing and a Flurry X with spell power on it, and you can just swap them in and out for whatever scenarios, you know, you're looking at. Where's the young ones? I'll just kill them all. We gotta level up my sword anyway. Alright, so you can see the righteous tick damage is 29 damage per second. And actually, my damage right now, 36, which is pretty piss poor. With my level 13 green sword that had fiery on it, I was doing probably more than that, to be honest.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
But we're not really doing anything. You know, I'm not using Consecrate or anything, so... But the thing with the protection mod is you have so many abilities. I mean, you have a lot of abilities between your Seal of Wisdom, your Blessing of Wisdom, your Blessing of Might, your Blessing of Sanctuary, and so to me, what really makes a good paladin is understanding, you know, when to use what, because you see a lot of paladins that don't. There's one down on the ground. You see a lot of paladins that'll just stick with maybe one blessing no matter what. You know, if the shit's hitting the fan, they don't understand that they're getting hit by like 4 mobs and the shit's hitting the fan, they're better off, you know, switching to Devo or to give them, you know, just to mitigate damage a little bit longer. To allow their healer a little bit more time, you know, to heal them. You're better off throwing Devo up, even though you're going to lose a slight amount of damage, you know.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed. You were screwed.
I don't think so. I don't think we're screwed at all. I think we just need to drink. Man, is that water that bad? Oh. It's because I ran out of water. Just wondering why that was. Man, it was coming back so slowly. No crocodiles. We've got the no crocodiles. There's one. So 36 DPS. I bet the one-hand weapon will eclipse that. Let's find out.
Lovely.
Hmm, 40. Yeah, 43 DPS.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
Hey Cyrus, what's up? Kitty kitty. Questing is almost always better. Like,
Greetings.
it's pretty much always better. It's very difficult to like outpace questing. Like if you know the quest, you have a familiarity with the quests, especially if you're doing, if you get all the quests together for each dungeon as well, and just do the dungeon runs when you have all the quests for those dungeons.
With you. Light bless you.
But yeah, it's you're not. It's going to be difficult. Like when I hit like level 60, or sorry, when I hit level 50, a lot of times I'll just go to Sorrow Hill, and I'll like last time I did a Protection Paladin, I leveled them. Last time I leveled a Protection Paladin, I went here to Sorrow Hill, and I just grinded the skeletons here, from 50 all the way to 60. I don't think I hardly did anything else, and it took me. I mean, I could basically do like a level a day or something, 50, but yeah, as long as you have good gear, I'm sitting there and I'm pulling, and a lot of it depends though on how many other people are farming there, and on the hardcore servers it was pretty bad, but we had channels, so I could swap channels. I'd have people invite me to their channel, so if someone was there farming, AoE farming the skeletons. There's actually a lot of other protection paladins we're doing too. I don't think it'll be as bad on this server if I can get up to 50 pretty quickly, because I just don't think there's that many people on the alliance that are that high right now. I mean, there's some, but it's not going to be as competitive as it would have been. And plus, this server's not super crowded either, so I think leveling from 50 to 60 Sorrow Hill for this guy, for this character, should be really good. Should be a pretty good experience. And I also like you also get a ton of like you know, cloth and rune cloth, and you'll get some drops. Like I'll usually get a few blue drops and stuff while I'm doing that. You know, the more mobs you kill, it gives you a better chance to get drops. And
Have a good one.
always a good side benefit, right?
You got my attention.
Just slimy. Yeah, we don't need slimy Murloc. Don't think we even need Murloc anymore.
Watch your back.
Hi, off with you.
Yeah, Paladins really can't. Like, it's decent, especially if you're on rest time. Like if you're leveling a couple characters at once and you let your Paladin get, especially when you get past like level 40, and you let your Paladin build up like, you know, like full rest time, and then when you AoE or when you're AoE leveling on rest time, you will be faster. It is faster. It is definitely faster than doing anything, but that's on rest time. So when not on rest time, I would say it's not faster. It's slower. But there's a lot of ways you can, you know, speed it up. Dragon Breath Chili, Oil of Immolation. You know, make sure, like I said, you can get a druid to buff you with thorns every so often. That would be nice. There's definitely different things you can do to accelerate your AoE leveling. And Dragon Breath Chili is surprisingly good, so don't discount Dragon Breath Chili.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
Ah, I hate these hills here. Always fucking falling off.
Lovely.
Come on. I fucking hate the cliffs, the little hills here. They're like ridiculous. They don't look very sharp, but you constantly will just fall in the water on them. It irritates the hell out of me. It's like, this is not steep enough for me to fall in the water, and yet you just slide, like, watch. Like this one here, you shouldn't be falling in the water. Like, this does not look like steep enough that I can't just climb up it. It's bogus, man. Bogus! Alright, I'll see you, Absent. Thanks for the sub, man. Hope your work goes alright.
Lovely.
Oh shit. This ought to be fun.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
In the blues of the ruby red river that flows through the darkening concrete, devouring ghosts afloat by. I'm with them. Up in the current and taken in whole, I've been struggling, strangling others in tow. Have
I'm out of food.
eyes gone missing. Imagining sequences, playing back visions.
Lovely.
Immortal. Nothing is sacred and nothing is sure anymore, except all that you are and stand for. Guide me toward your portal. Your portal. Your
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Actually, an upgrade.
can kiss your ass goodbye.
Huh.
You were screwed. You were screwed.
Too many Murlocs! The Murlocs! It's just Gobbler, yeah.
You were screwed. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely.
When your day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries. Everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along.
The day is
Hold on. Feel
Lovely.
like letting go. Think you
Lovely.
had too much. This life. Hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hand. Don't throw your hand. Feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. On your own. It's like days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much with this life to hang on. Well, everybody hurts, but sometimes everybody cries. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts sometimes. So hold on, hold on, hold on,
It's bartender. Yeah, it's bartender. So you just go into bartender, and you can basically configure all the bars, the size of the bars, where they go, and you have to go to the Blizzard Art bar here and make sure you change it to layout one action bar only, and that'll just do the one action bar down here with the griffins. And then I scale bars, you know, like the bar 5 and 6, I scale them down. Bar 5 I hide. I hide in the micro menu, I hide the bag bar, and I hide this bar. So they show up when I hover over them, but if I don't hover over them, we don't see them at all. And the bars on the right side of the screen, I change the opacity level so they're a little bit more faded out, so they just don't show up quite as much. Crab cake. Thanks. Yeah, I like to keep it clean. You know, I have, you know, I've got my damage meter here, but I also have a threat meter that shows up right above this. It just does. It only loads when I'm in combat. Actually, I probably could make it so that the damage meter doesn't show. Hide. I don't know if I can show to hide this when not in combat. Would be really good though. Hide when not collecting. Let's try that. Does that tip? Doesn't seem to make it disappear. Hide when not collecting. Or auto hide on combat. Yeah. I guess yeah. Nah. No, I want it to be there so people can see it. Hide when not collecting. Interesting. I would have thought that would have made it disappear. Yeah, Bartender's worked out pretty good. I mean, I used to use Guild Wars 2 UI, which I like quite a bit, but Bartender's nice and clean, and I definitely like a clean UI. I don't want things in them anywhere. Like, I don't want anything above, like, these portraits here. Like, I want the screen here to be completely just playable area. We don't want any other crap.
What's on your mind? Off with you.
What do we got? Let's... Yeah.
Don't tell me it's a bad thing. Being with you is distracting. You'll be everlasting.
Can I help you?
On my lips. Your small manipulation, the palest invitation. Test the limitation.
Be careful.
My grip. On my grip. On my grip. On my grip.
Need help? Or the Alliance?
Need help? Farewell.
I should. I could have done this. I hate these quests over here. But we probably. I don't have the energy to do that tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. I'd rather just do a few Darkshire quests. Do a few Darkshire quests. We'll hit 24 hopefully, and then I'm gonna get to bed. Man, it's already late. Get to 24. What do we get at 24? Let's see. Oh, we get Hammer of Justice rank 2. That's gonna help. And Blessing of Wisdom, Blessing of Protection. Really, level 30 is our next big level, as far as getting something that's game breaking, which Seal of Light is.
Hello. See you later.
Light be with you.
What can I do for you? Greetings. King's honor, friend. Go with honor, friend.
What can I do for you?
If I would have made the jump, I would have did it, but I didn't make the jump. So, some other time.
Need help? Light.
Home is where the heartache is. So baby, pack up your desktop. Let's piggyback the internet from the Walmart parking lot. Hair high with the cat eye, you held my hand in the movie. Got me iced tea as our friends ran off to 2E. Said you can't be shit if you can't be true to you. And you slapped the streets on like your parents' Subaru. Long live being in love, being obscene. Long live saying that we're 19. Black coffee, acetaminophen. Long live the listening and everything in between. Long live the motherfucking team. Long live the scene. Long live the motherfucking team. Long live the dream. So we took off for all the back. Baby Scout Regiment, shout Sally and Jack. It wasn't what we did, but what you said. And the
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Hello. Have a good
Good
one.
day to you. Safe travels. How are you? See you around.
You were my
Greetings. Light bless you.
ocean, guiding me home, my only weapon. When I was alone, you were a big city.
Greetings.
When
For
I
your
got
lines.
lost and when you spoke with me, follow
What can I do for you? See you around.
You need something? See you later.
Can I help you? Safe travels.
Did you know the cost when you broke your promise? That when your guns went off, they would come down on us. I was a knife in a gunfight, and I fought so madly. You were a wolf in the daylight, and you almost had me. Almost had me. Thought you were sure. Oh, your color, but you were in sheep's clothing. Another, can a slave preach freedom? Can a captive take hold of what they believe in? But did you know the cost when you broke your promise? The way your bones went off, they would come down on us. I was a knife I never let you sink in our kiss. I know when your heart stopped beating.
Lovely.
I never let you sink your teeth in.
Whew, I'm falling asleep. Alright, so we got talent point.
Did you know that cause you broke your promise?
Chorus, Redoubt. No brainer.
Bombs went off, they would come down on us. I was a knife in a gunfight.
Alright, good news is we got some new shoulders to wear. A sparkle shell mantle. Which have like, what, 10 stamina? 10 stamina for agility. Stamina is what makes them so good for us.
Hello. Farewell.
Hello. Have a good one.
King's honor, friend. Be careful.
Alright, that's it, guys. I gotta get to bed. I'm falling asleep. It is 3 a.m. here, and I have a meeting in, I think, 5 hours. So, level 24. We're slowly making progress. You're currently leveling a red at level 26, but was thinking of going private. No, red's much faster. The red's much faster leveling speed than protection. The only way you could make protection level faster is really as if you're just spamming dungeons a lot, probably. I mean, even like AoE leveling, it just isn't going to be as fast. I just love protection. But really the AoE part of protection, I mean, I can AoE now. I can fight 3 mobs at a time now, but it doesn't really get good till, until you get, you really need these 3 things. You need all of Redoubt 5 out of 5, you need Precision 3 out of 3, and you need Shield Specialization 3 out of 3. When you get those 3 things online, that's where a lot of your mitigation comes from, and the Precision really helps just, you hit a lot more often, so it's, hit rating on any class in vanilla is huge, like huge. Any melee class, hit rating is massive, so, yeah, here, let me show you what the talent tree is. This is what the talent tree will look like, right? So we're gonna get Redoubt, and then we're gonna go into, Precision. We'll get a few points into Toughness, but just enough to open up the next tree, the next branch, and then we'll grab Shield Specialization 3 out of 3. And then, depending on if we're gonna tank or not, we'll grab Improve Righteous the Fury. We're only going to put 1 point into Improved Hammer Justice. We're going to go 5 out of 5 on Reckoning. And of course, you got to get Blessing and Sanctuary, 4 out of 5 one-handed weapon specialization. 1 point into Holy Shield, and then we'll finish out our build by going into Retribution and getting... I was going to say, that doesn't look right. We're going to get, I think, 5 out of 5 Benediction and 2 out of 5 on Deflection. Better mana management and just a little bit more mitigation. That's the goal. And I've leveled tons of Protection Paladins in vanilla, so that's the build I like for like AoE leveling and just dungeons, but I leave you with the verb pipe as I go to bed, man. Everybody have a good one, everybody. Hope everybody has a good night. Peace out.
Show is over, close the storybook. There will be no encore. And all the random hands that I have shook, well, they're reaching for the door. I watch the backs as they leave single file. You stood stubborn, cheering all the while. I know I